My wife and best friend are getting married. After their affair broke up my marriage. Hey Reddit, so I'm Ethan, 36, and I'm pretty sure I just won the worst best man award ever. I mean, I haven't actually won it yet, but the irony is thick enough to cut with a knife. See, my ex-wife, Olivia, is marrying my ex-best friend Liam. Yeah, you read that right. They're getting married. After they had an affair that blew up my entire life. The kicker, Liam actually asked me to be his best man. Seriously. What kind of messed up power dynamic is this? I built my company from the ground up, focused on my career, trying to create the stable family life I never had. And these two, they were my family. Or so I thought. Now I'm starting to think they saw me as a meal ticket. I always wanted that close-knit group, and I guess I was so desperate for it that I missed all the red flags. Now I'm left wondering, how could I have been so blind? Should I just disappear, or do I have a different option? It was a Tuesday, just a normal Tuesday. I was working late, hammering out a deal. Olivia was supposed to be at yoga. My phone buzzed. Olivia's iPad was syncing to my iCloud. Normally, I wouldn't even look, but something told me to check. And there it was, a message preview, from Liam, to Olivia. Can't wait to see you later tonight. Ethan will be working late again, right? My stomach dropped, like actually dropped. I felt like I was going to be sick. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely type in the password to unlock the iPad. And then I saw them, dozens of messages, weeks, months of messages, shared jokes about me, intimate details, pictures. And my God, the pictures, I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. This wasn't some innocent flirtation. This was a full-blown affair. They were planning their rendezvous around MY's schedule. I felt like I was going to pass out. I had to sit down. My head was spinning. How? Why? These were the two people I trusted most in the world. My wife, my best friend, the people who were supposed to have my back. And they were doing this to me. I confronted Olivia that night. Showed her the messages. You know what she said? You're being paranoid, Ethan. It's not what it looks like. Not what it looks like. I'm staring at pictures of them together, reading messages about their secret hookups, and she's telling me it's nothing. Then she tried to flip it on me, saying I was being controlling for checking her iPad. Controlling? Liam, he was even worse. He actually had the audacity to call me, all apologetic, saying it was just a bit of fun, a flirtation. A flirtation that involved sneaking around behind my back for months. He told me I was overreacting, that I needed to chill out. Chill out? How could they be so callous, so dismissive? Like my pain didn't even matter, like I was the crazy one. I went to my mom. Big mistake, huge. I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd be on my side. She'd offer some comfort, some understanding. I was so naive. I sat her down, explained everything, showed her the messages, the pictures, the whole damn sordid story. And you know what she said? Oh, Ethan, you're probably just working too much. You know how Olivia gets when she's bored. Bored. She's having an affair with my best friend and she's bored. My hands were shaking. I felt this rage building inside me, this hot, burning anger. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Mom, I said, my voice trembling, they've been sleeping together for months. Behind my back, how can you say she's bored? She just waved her hand dismissively. Don't be dramatic, Ethan. I'm sure it's not as bad as you think. You and Olivia have always had a passionate relationship. Maybe this is just a phase. A phase. Are you kidding me? I felt like I was suffocating, like the walls were closing in. A phase? Mom, they're getting married. He asked me to be his best man. Then she dropped the bomb. Well, maybe you should just be happy for them. Liam is a good man and he clearly makes Olivia happy. Maybe you weren't giving her what she needed. What? SHENEEDED. I wanted to scream. My vision started to blur. I stood up so fast I knocked my chair over. Happy for them? Are you seriously saying that I should be happy for them after they betrayed me like this? She sighed, like I was the one being unreasonable. Ethan, you need to calm down. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Just forgive and forget. It's all water under the bridge now. Forgive and forget? Water under the bridge. This is my life, Mom. My life they destroyed. That's when it hit me. This wasn't normal. This wasn't just some family squabble. This was toxic. My own mother was gaslighting me, minimizing my pain and taking their side. Their side. I just walked out. I didn't even say goodbye. I just left. I got in my car and drove. I didn't even know where I was going. I just needed to get away. And now I'm here. Sitting in my car in the parking lot of a 24-hour diner, typing this out on my phone. Because I don't know what else to do. I'm lost. Alone. And completely and utterly betrayed by the people I loved most. What the actual F? A week later and things have gone from bad to nuclear. I'm seriously starting to question my sanity. My own family is actively trying to sabotage me. like full-on character assassination. After the blow-up with my mom, I thought things couldn't get worse. I was wrong. So wrong. Apparently, Olivia and Liam have been busy spinning their own version of the story, painting me as the villain, the workaholic, emotionally distant husband who drove his poor wife into the arms of another man, and my family is buying it. My aunt called me yesterday, Aunt Susan, who I've always been close to. She started with the usual platitudes, "Ethan, honey, I'm so sorry you're going through this." But then it quickly took a turn. "But you have to understand, dear," she said, her voice dripping with fake sympathy, "Olivia needs a man who's present, someone who's there for her emotionally. You were always so focused on your work, I saw red. Present. I was working to provide for us, to build a life. And what were they doing? Sneaking around behind my back." She actually tusked at me, TSKD. "Ethan, you need to take some responsibility. You can't just blame them for everything." Blame them? They were the ONES having an affair. Then came the kicker. "Olivia told me you were never really there for her, that you were cold and distant, that you neglected her needs." Neglected her needs. I was working my ass off, trying to build a future for us, and this is what I get. I hung up. I couldn't even listen to another word. Then my uncle called. Then another aunt. Then cousins. All singing the same damn song. They're all parroting Olivia and Liam's lies, twisting the narrative to make me the bad guy. This morning, I woke up to find a string of emails from family members. One was particularly brutal. It was from my grandmother. My grandmother. It said, and I quote, "Ethan, you have brought shame upon this family. Your behavior is disgraceful. I am ashamed to call you my grandson." Ashamed? They are having an affair and I'm the one bringing shame. What the actual F? I can't sleep, I can't eat. I can barely function. I feel like I'm drowning in a sea of lies and betrayal. I'm being gaslighted by my entire family. They're trying to erase me, to rewrite history, and the worst part, it's working. People are starting to believe them. I'm starting to feel like I'm losing my mind. Like I'm in some twisted, alternate reality. This can't keep going on. I have to do something. I have to fight back. I have to reclaim my narrative. This isn't just about me anymore. This is about truth, and I won't let them bury it. I was a wreck. Seriously, a complete and utter mess. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't focus on anything. My head was a constant replay of their betrayal, my family's accusations, the whole twisted nightmare. I felt like I was suffocating. I had to talk to someone, anyone who wasn't already poisoned by Olivia and Liam's lies. So I called my cousin Maya. She's a therapist, lives a few states away, thankfully removed from this whole mess. I hadn't talked to her in a while, but I knew she was the only one who might actually listen without judgment. Even then, it was hard to start. The words just wouldn't come. I stumbled through the beginning, stammering, barely coherent. "Maya, it's Olivia and Liam, they're—" "Ethan, what's wrong? You sound awful." I took a deep breath. "They're getting married, Olivia and Liam. They're getting married." There was a silence on the other end, a long, heavy silence. Then, wait, what? After everything. And that's when the dam broke. I just spilled everything. The affair, the messages, the pictures, my family's reaction, the gaslighting, the accusations, everything. I didn't hold back. I just let it all pour out like a festering wound finally lanced. When I was finished, there was another silence. This one was different, though. Not shocked, not confused, but understanding. "Ethan," she said softly, "I'm so sorry, that's horrific. What they're doing to you, it's not right." And just hearing those words, those simple words of validation, I started to cry. Like really cry. Ugly, heaving sobs. I hadn't cried since this whole thing started. I'd been too numb, too shocked, too angry. But hearing Maya's voice, her empathy, it just broke me. "They're all against me, Maya," I choked out. "My own family. They're taking their side. They're calling me the bad guy." "Ethan," she said firmly, "they're wrong. What Olivia and Liam did was wrong. And your family's reaction, it's wrong too. They're letting their own biases and preconceived notions cloud their judgment. They're not seeing the truth. But they're believing them," I sobbed. "They're believing their lies." "Ethan, listen to me," she said, her voice strong and clear. "Their actions are a reflection of them, not of you. This isn't about you not being good enough or not being present enough. This is about them. Their insecurities, their selfishness, their lack of integrity. This is about their brokenness, not yours." And that was the turning point. Hearing her say that, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. It was like I could finally see the situation clearly, without the fog of self-doubt and guilt. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't to blame, they were. "They're trying to rewrite history, Maya," I said, my voice shaking. "They're trying to make me the villain in their twisted love story." "And you don't have to let them," she said. You don't have to participate in their delusion. You have the power to reclaim your narrative. You have the power to tell your story. And in that moment, I knew she was right. I wasn't going to let them win. I wasn't going to let them bury the truth. I was going to fight back. My phone rang. It was Liam. I almost didn't answer, but some morbid curiosity pushed me to press the green button. "Ethan, buddy," he started, his voice all fake cheerfulness, like we were still bros planning a weekend fishing trip. "We need to talk about the wedding." My stomach clenched. Just the word wedding made my skin crawl. "What about it?" I managed to choke out. "Well," he continued, and I could practically hear the smugness dripping from his voice, "Olivia and I were thinking we'd really love it if you'd be my best man." I froze. My blood ran cold. I couldn't breathe. He was asking me, the man whose life he'd systematically destroyed, to be his best man. At his wedding, to my wife. You want me to be your best man," I repeated, my voice barely a whisper. "Yeah, man," he said, his voice brimming with this unearned confidence. "It would mean a lot to us. It would show everyone how mature we all are, how we've all moved on." Mature? Moved on. I felt like I was going to vomit. Mature? I finally managed to get out, my voice rising. "You think this is about maturity? You're marrying the woman you had an affair with while I was still married to her, and you think asking me to be your best man is a sign of maturity?" He actually chuckled. "Come on, Ethan, don't be like that. It's all water under the bridge now. We're all adults here. Let's just put the past behind us." Water under the bridge. Was this guy serious? That was it. That was the breaking point. Something inside me snapped. I'd been a victim for long enough. I'd been passive, letting them walk all over me, letting them rewrite history. No more. "Let me tell you something, Liam," I said, my voice cold and hard. "You are the most arrogant, self-absorbed, delusional person I have ever met. You have no idea the pain you've caused. You have no remorse. And you think you can just sweep it all under the rug and pretend it never happened. You think you can parade your happiness in my face and expect me to celebrate with you. You are wrong." "Ethan," he started, but I cut him off. "No, you listen to me. I am not some prop in your twisted fairy tale. I am not going to be your best man. I am not going to stand there and smile while you marry the woman who betrayed me in the most horrific way imaginable. In fact, I'm going to make damn sure everyone knows the truth about you too." And in that moment, everything changed. The confusion, the self-doubt, the guilt, it all vanished. It was replaced by a cold, hard resolve, a burning need for justice. I was no longer a victim. I was a warrior, and I was ready for war. I hung up the phone, my hand shaking. My heart was pounding in my chest. My breath was coming in ragged gasps. But for the first time since this whole nightmare began, I felt alive. I felt a sense of purpose. I knew what I had to do. I was going to expose them. I was going to reveal their lies to the world. And I was going to do it in the most spectacular way possible. At their wedding. Right, Reddit, buckle up, because this is where things get interesting. Liam's request was the fuel I needed. It crystallized everything. I wasn't just hurt, I was furious. And I was done being the nice guy. It was GO time. First, I told Liam I'd be his best man. Oh yeah, I played along. Let him think he'd won. Let him think he could just erase everything and move on with my life. Little did he know I was building my arsenal. Evidence gathering, this was crucial. I started meticulously documenting everything. I printed out every single incriminating text message. I had months worth. I organized them chronologically, highlighting the most damning parts. I even created a spreadsheet categorizing them by topic. Lies to Ethan, secret meetings, disgusting pet names, you get the idea. It was sickening, but it was ironclad proof. Next, I went through my old phone backups. Turns out, my phone had been automatically recording some of my conversations with Olivia and Liam. GOLDMINE. There were recordings of them gaslighting me, downplaying the affair, even laughing about it. I had them transcribed and timestamped. Boom. Then I reached out to mutual friends. I knew there were people who had witnessed their inappropriate behavior, the hushed whispers, the stolen glances. Some were hesitant to get involved, understandably, but a few brave souls stepped up. I collected their written testimonies, detailing what they'd seen and heard. Checkmate. Strategy. I wasn't going to just confront them privately. Oh no, this needed to be public. They wanted to rewrite history. I was going to give them a history lesson they'd never forget. I decided to use their wedding reception as my platform, the ultimate act of poetic justice. I envisioned a slideshow. A beautiful, professionally produced slideshow. It would start with innocent photos of the three of us over the year's vacations, holidays, birthdays, the good times, the times I thought we were a family. Then it would slowly transition to the evidence. The texts, the recordings, the testimonies, the truth. I hired a professional video editor, explained the situation, gave him all the materials. He was a lifesaver. He understood the gravity of the situation and worked tirelessly to create a masterpiece of expose. We set it to music, hauntingly beautiful music that juxtaposed perfectly with the ugliness of their betrayal. Support system, Maya was my rock. She listened, she advised, she kept me sane. She reminded me that I wasn't crazy, that I deserved better, and that I had the right to fight back. She helped me rehearse what I was going to say, how to handle the fallout, how to protect myself emotionally. She was my lifeline, mental and emotional prep. This was the hardest part. I knew what I was doing was going to be messy, explosive. I knew I was going to burn bridges, alienate people, potentially face legal repercussions. But I also knew I couldn't stay silent. I couldn't let them win. I spent hours visualizing the confrontation, preparing myself for their reactions, steeling myself against their inevitable attempts to discredit me. I practiced my speech over and over again until every word was etched in my memory. I was ready. This wasn't about revenge, not really. It was about truth. It was about reclaiming my narrative. It was about taking back my power. And I was ready to unleash hell. The reception was in full swing. Fake smiles plastered everywhere, cloying music, the whole 9 yards. I felt a knot in my stomach, but I was strangely calm. This was it, showtime. I took a deep breath, walked up to the microphone and tapped it lightly. The chatter died down, all eyes on me, including Olivia and Liam. They were beaming, so blissfully unaware of what was coming. "Good evening, everyone," I started, my voice surprisingly steady. "For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ethan, Liam's best man." I paused, letting the irony hang in the air. "I've known Liam for, well, a long time. We've been through a lot together." I looked directly at Liam, my gaze unwavering. He still had that smug grin plastered on his face. He had no idea. "And Olivia," I continued, turning to my ex-wife, "you've been like a sister to me. I've cherished our friendship over the years." Her smile faltered slightly, a flicker of unease in her eyes. "Good," I went on, delivering the standard best man fare. Funny anecdotes from our past, heartfelt wishes for their future. I even choked up a bit for added effect. They ate it up. Hook, line, and sinker. Then I paused. "But you know," I said, my voice dropping slightly, "there's a story that hasn't been told tonight, a story that needs to be heard." I clicked a button on my laptop which was connected to the venue's projector. The lights dimmed. A slideshow began. Pictures of the three of us flashed across the screen. Happy memories, vacations, birthdays, smiling faces. The room awed. Olivia and Liam exchanged loving glances. The music shifted, something darker, more ominous. The pictures kept flashing, but now something was off. A whispered conversation captured in the background of one photo, a stolen glance in another, a hand lingering a little too long. The room grew quiet. Confused murmurs rippled through the crowd. Then bam, text messages, blown up huge on the screen. "Can't wait to see you later tonight. Ethan will be working late again, right?" The room gasped. Olivia's face went white. Liam started to squirm. The slideshow continued. More texts, more pictures, audio recordings of their conversations, their lies, their laughter, their disgusting betrayal laid bare for all to see. The room was silent. You could hear a pin drop. Then came the testimonies. Written statements from mutual friends detailing what they'd witnessed. Corroborating every single piece of evidence. It was undeniable, irrefutable, damning, the turning point. The moment Olivia's mother stood up, pointed a shaking finger at her daughter, and screamed, "You liar!" The dam had broken. Panic set in. Olivia and Liam were scrambling, trying to unplug the laptop to stop the slideshow, to silence the truth. But it was too late. The damage was done. Their carefully constructed facade had crumbled, their lies exposed, their reputation ruined. I stood there watching it all unfold, a strange sense of calm washing over me. This wasn't the angry, vengeful act I'd planned. It was cathartic, liberating. I had taken back my power. I had reclaimed my narrative, and for the first time in months I felt free. The slideshow ended. The lights came up. The room was in chaos. Whispers, gasps, accusations. Olivia and Liam were surrounded, bombarded with questions, their faces contorted in a mixture of shock, anger, and shame. I looked at them one last time, a small, sad smile playing on my lips. "Enjoy your wedding," I said softly and walked out. I didn't look back. It's been 6 months since the wedding that wasn't. The fallout, as you can imagine, was epic. The immediate aftermath was pure chaos. Screaming, crying, accusations flying everywhere. Olivia's mom fainted. Liam's dad looked like he was about to have a stroke. It was a mess. The wedding was obviously off, cancelled in the most spectacular way possible. The next few weeks were a blur, a whirlwind of phone calls, emails, texts. People taking sides, demanding explanations, gossiping like crazy. It was exhausting. Some family members rallied around me, shocked and disgusted by Olivia and Liam's behavior. Others, not so much. Some still blamed me, said I should have handled it privately, said I was being dramatic. I cut those people out of my life. No regrets. I realized who my real support system was, and it wasn't the people who were trying to minimize my pain or protect the image of a couple of lying cheaters. Olivia and Liam. They became social pariahs, ostracized by most of our mutual friends and family. They left town shortly after the wedding, and I haven't heard from them since. Good riddance. It's been a long, hard road to recovery. Therapy has been a lifesaver. I'm learning to trust myself again, to set healthy boundaries, to recognize red flags. I'm no longer afraid of being alone. I've reconnected with old friends, made some new ones. I've focused on my work, my hobbies. I'm rebuilding my life brick by brick. It's still hard sometimes. I still have moments of sadness, anger, even doubt. But I'm getting stronger every day. I've learned a valuable lesson about trust, about loyalty, about the importance of choosing your own family. The family you choose is sometimes stronger than the one you're born into. That's been huge. I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago. I'm more resilient, more aware, more me. I'm finally free. So Reddit, what do you think? Have you ever experienced a betrayal like this? How did you handle it? Would you have done what I did? I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts.